Go live. Why is it not working? Beautiful. There we go. Lovely jubbly. Hello and welcome to another weekly episode of the Beer Fridge Podcast, your home of real beer, real breweries, real opinions. On this week's episode, it's the Fridgie Awards 2024.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Yes, your home of real beer, real breweries, real opinions, the Beer Fridge Podcast. As always, wherever you listen to this episode, make sure you subscribe, hit that ding-a-ling-a-ling to be notified of every single episode. You can show your support by giving us a 5-star rating or show your official support by going to patreon.com/Beer Fridge Podcast. My name is Gavin. I've got my usual drinking friends in the form of Callum, MD, and Mr. Scott. Good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening.
Hello.
Hello.
We are live. Do not say fuck a bugger. We are live on Facebook, YouTube, and should be Instagram live as well. So good evening, everyone in the interweb. My laptop might last. We shall see. But it is award season. It is the 2024 Fridgies. We're going to be announcing our People's Choice Brewery of the Year, which has been going for the last 7 or 8 weeks. That will be announced in the next kind of 20 minutes, maybe 30 minutes or so. So keep tuned, stay tuned for that. But in the meantime, we'll do as we normally do, go around the virtual table and see what we're drinking. Kick things off.
Let's go around the table.
Indeed, let's go around the table. Evening, everyone online. Put your comments, like, follow, share as you normally do. Let us know what you're drinking as well as we go around the table. Mr. Muir, what have you got?
I have started off with potentially a nominee this evening. It's Campervan's Extra Black, their Nitro Porter. We've spoken about it many, many times, but it is one of the best stouts/porters you can buy, both in can and on draft. Enough said, I think, really.
Good stuff. MD?
I'm sticking to my Danish drinking philosophy that I've been on over the weekend. And
Bacon. Pastries.
Just grease.
Butter.
Pastries and beer. That's basically been my diet. So I love the fact when you're able to come back and you can buy craft beer at an airport that they don't have an allowance for how much you can bring back, and it's as simple as, can you fit it in your bag? So yes is the answer. So I managed to stumble into a couple of cans of Tool's 45 Days of series, and this is 45 Days of Christmas. So the whole premise behind this series is there we are, thank you. That they mature all the beer for 45 days in fermentation. Part of the lager series. This is a Vienna lager, and
Oh, yes.
it's just delish, easy drinking. I'll give you a wee colour notes in my vault glass there, and it's just all the notes that you're looking for. Do you know what I mean? It's kind of malty. It's super crisp. And I've got to admit, it's proper sessionable, and I think it's going to be gone ASAP. So, cheers, everybody.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Cheers, cheers, cheers. Chin chin. Gilroy, what you got, mate?
Beer, Gavin.
Excellent work. I am on Brewing Brothers.
I'm having Simple Things Fermentation NZ Pale, hazy pale brewed with the finest NZ hops! Exclamation mark. 4.8%. It is spectacular as per usual, as has been the whole box. We are enjoying Nectaron, Motueka, and Nelson Sauvin.
Is that going to get the Is that going to get the Friggy for Beer Wank Buzz Phrase of the Year? NZ,
NZ
Hops.
Hop.
NZ
Oh,
Hops.
100. It's definitely
I mean,
top
that
nominee.
needs to be a T-shirt. That needs to be a Beer Fridge podcast T-shirt. NZ Hops.
It is up there.
NZ Hops.
Is
They're singing in this Simple Things Fermentation. Obviously, know what they're doing. It's excellent. Great can. Excellent can art. Lovely stuff. Would recommend to a friend.
Which is
Why
us.
you've
So,
not got any.
fine.
Beer Fridge
I
endorsed.
am on Brewing Brothers, based down here on the south coast of England. G'day Bruce, a Pacific, pale, 4.5%. We are enjoying some hops in the form of, where I seen it and it went away, citrus, Galaxy and Spectrum. So this is, all these hops have been gathered from Australia, hence the G'day Bruce. And yes, it is. It's all right, to be fair. A wee bit of citrus notes, a wee bit of kind of mango coming through, nice and sweet at the back end. A wee bit of bitterness as well, just to round things off. The head has dissipated very swiftly, is what it is. But at 4.5%, it is a lovely little starter beer, and a brewery that I'll be getting more of in 2025. Go and check them out. Check them out, y'all. Right then, that's us. Went round the table. First thing to mention, which we never got to mention last week because we had Johnny Garrett joining us on the show, talking about his new book. If you haven't done so, make sure you go and get it. We are thoroughly enjoying it. It's well worth a listen. But Mr. Mark was on a Danish Express going across his travels as per usual, kind of hide money, and you've came back with a new kind of view of it all, and it probably fits in well with what we were talking about last week in terms of these big macros actually kind of kicking things off in the world of beer.
I've got to admit, I was able to do the Carlsberg tour, and before everybody starts vomiting and there's like that are watching and that, I just their whole setup and the kind of the history behind the brewery kind of really got me thinking about it. I know it's in Johnny's book. I just haven't got that far in the book yet. But the advancements in beer and the technology that they kind of brought to the beer, and we're talking about 1850s onwards, and that so it's not a couple of moons ago, put it that way. But it's just it was fascinating to the advancements, the level of detail they were taking to get yeasts to Copenhagen, traveling all the way to Munich to pick it up and then back. They built the first ever lab that was based around beer and how they could advance beer. They were the first people to look at proteins, pH, and the grain, and how that then has an effect on mouthfeel, texture, flavour, all that kind of stuff as well. So I left there thinking, I've actually got a far more of a respect for Carlsberg. I think the beer now, especially over here, is pretty poor, and I think the old Jacobson father and son would be kind of, like you say, rolling in their grave slightly with regards to it. But over there, like, there's just that. It's like everything else. When you're drinking it as close to the source as possible, and there was a few other beers, not just the generic Pilsner that everybody knows. I was telling the guys before we got started, I was able to try their 1883, 1884 red lager. And a couple of years back, they found bottles of Carlsberg in one of their cellars when they were kind of renovating. And this beer was made in 1884, and they were able to extract the yeast from the beer with obviously modern technology, and then kind of utilize said yeast and make a beer that is solely being sold at the home of Carlsberg. And just it's we were talking about history last week with Johnny, but it's a wee bit of history in a beer, and it was a red lager. It was really tasty. It was easy. It was nothing overly complex.
Yeah,
but you were, it just. For me, it was a bit of kind of drinking history in a way, and it was really cool, and in that environment. So it was.
It's interesting. Like, you know, because the people that are running that place and the people that are responsible for, you know, discovering that beer and coming up with the idea of taking the yeast out and then actually taking the yeast out and making a new beer from it and stuff. I mean, they're obviously clearly fabulous brewers, fabulous chemists, incredibly passionate about what they do. You just wonder how it sits with them that all that hard work that they're doing and the product that's facing 95% of the market that it's reaching is utter dog shit.
No, there's obviously multiple things to that, but the beer's now brewed in 30 breweries worldwide. It's sold in 150 something
Massive.
countries.
And there's a credit that needs to go to the company, just like AB InBev and just like, you know, Heineken and stuff like that, for building a product and then building a business around that product that's taken over the world. I mean, I totally respect the business acumen, but it seems like a chalk and cheese type thing to have that history and that passion sitting alongside toilet water.
Indeed, I think we should just, while we're thinking it, skim over just some comments just quickly because I can see them coming in. I don't want them to be missed. James, as always, is checking in. Good evening, sir. Hope you're well. Tori is also in the building. Late in from a sick bed as well. Just hope you're feeling better. And I can't scroll any further, which is really quite fucking annoying. But yes, I think we should just deep dive into some of these fucking awards.
Yeah, let's do it.
So these Fridges Awards 2024, we've got a couple of categories, and this is just our opinion, to be honest. Real beer, real breweries, real opinions on the Beer Fridge podcast. We go through this list, we've picked the beers, and some of them you're probably going to think, how are they on this, on certain categories and stuff, but we have to be subjective and put beers that we have drank, and at the same time make sure that more than one of us has actually had the beer for it to win. Shall we kick things off, boys?
Let's do
Go for it.
Do you have a video?
Good response, everybody. No videos. No videos. I'm not getting
What?
cute.
Oh,
No
we
good
were-
time.
Oh, he's
I was
not
waiting on
beer.
you saying, "Will we get started?" and then everybody saying unenthusiastically yes, and then you playing a video that then hypes everybody up. But
No, sad.
I'll
I
ask
mean, I
you.
could. No, I'm not getting queued up tonight, mate. Let's kick things off with the best stout and best porter. Mr. Muir, you got the spreadsheet open?
I have.
Do you want to run through our nominees for best stout and best porter of 2024? And if you're
So we've
watching, give
got-
it another 10 or so minutes, and then you'll get the brewery of the year.
No, didn't say that. Just say keep saying that. 10 minutes. We'll have them on till
Somebody.
11 o'clock.
Right, exactly.
Okay, so we've got 5 nominees. The first is Lost Brewing, Who Let the Ghost Out, which was the white stout that Gavin and I both tried in the summertime. Next is Barney's Postmortem Hazelnut Affogato. And then we've got Brewtown's Ultra Black, Fell Brewery's Export Stout, and Campervan Extra Black. Thoughts, gentlemen?
oh, well, the white stout's no stout, so it can't win.
The funny.
Next,
That's true. That's true.
It's a stout. No, it's a stout. It deserves to be there.
nah, fuck off. It's no, it isn't. I'll die on that hill. That's one.
Down
well,
that hill.
I'll die on that hill.
The first category.
Like I've got shares on Not a Stout Island. That's
He's coming
Absolute
in full
comedy.
Harold again.
nah, you'll never convince me that is. Maybe you should have a subcategory of white stout, but it shouldn't be mixed in with the creme de la creme.
So should it be in the pale ale category then? A coffee pale ale?
Aye.
Aye, put it in the low and no category. That's fine. It counts as no
My vote
because it's
here
no
is-
stout.
My vote here is for extra black. Campervan.
You know, for people watching, this is the way. If people are watching and you want to vote, fire it in the comments. There's a few on the Instagram right now. There is a like the Query Beer Box is just say Campervan's Extra Black is a cracker. So I'm taking that into consideration. So, and
Mate,
put it
this
this way:
isn't a democracy. This is a
votes,
dictatorship.
votes can be swayed here.
Well,
So
I can absolutely. By the way, my vote is up for sale. If anybody wants to, anybody for the, any beer boxes or anybody that's got a can of beer wants to send me it, my vote is 100% for sale.
for
Tell me
sure.
what you want me to vote for.
we're stating this early in the
Such a slag.
process. So
Such
Pick
a
me,
slag.
pick me.
right, Gav. Let's iron this out. Where's your vote going?
I'm Camper Van Extra Black. Easy for me. It's just a phenomenal. Even just being in the bigger cans is an extra selling point for me,
Right.
and it's just a solid. And as for me, as a non, well, a year ago being a non-stout drinker and thoroughly enjoying this, it's easy.
Cal.
Okay.
I'm going to go for Bruton's Ultra Black
Okay.
purely because Campervan are obviously stepping it up in terms of their nitro cans and stuff like that. But for Bruton to get the quality and the mouthfeel and the standard that they did, just in your standard 440 can, I think it was just tremendous.
It's not Canon style of the year though. It's the beer in the can.
But clearly, it's fucking
Is it,
disagreement
is it
of the year.
better?
It was lovely. I really enjoyed it.
That's just not what this is supposed to garner. It's not just supposed to be a fucking. Let's sit here and all agree on everything. We'll have agreed on winners beforehand, and there'll be no chat.
I'm going to table a motion that Scott's vote should be first up every fucking category.
No. I like it. We want him to just
No,
straight
I'm
in.
captain. I'll be you can already tell by my contrarian approach to the first category just how much input I've had to every single category. Dear listener, viewer,
Zero.
reminiscer, compatriot. I've had as much input into this as you, so I'll be the voice of the people and disagree with almost every decision that's made. Did you pick S'more? What was your white? What was the white stout that's not a stout that ended up in this category by mistake?
Lost Brewing, Who Let the Ghost Out.
So you
Can I
missed it on. So you totally avoided the only other white stout that we had all year in Smorrel Dilemma
It was nice.
by
but
Bruton.
Can I just interject as we're going round here, because Tori has put a comment on Instagram just now and laughing about the whole white stout versus dark beer convo, and they done a white stout next to a black IPA on their podcast, and because they were both fantastic beers according to Tori, of course, and it made her laugh because everybody lost their shit like McGill did, because typical. So I like that. Anyway, I'm going to try and keep us on McGill on the old train line here. So where's your vote going?
I really enjoy the camper van. I like the nitro can.
Well, you're wrong.
Ultimate-
So what?
Ultimately, I like camper van extra black. It's excellent.
Fair point. Well, I've got to admit, my vote was for the Bruton's Ultra Black beforehand to make this a two-way tie. So
this is why we should have had the spinning wheel of mayhem.
however, according to if we're breaking this tie, there was a vote for Extra Black on the old IG chat. So I think that gets
And there was a sec.
2.5.
James chimed in as well on Facebook.
2.5 nods.
Or-
Yeah.
Extra Black.
For camper
There we go.
vans, Extra Black. Yeah.
And just
Vindicated,
awards
Gavin.
as well
Many
for
people.
people that are
Fuck
were
this,
trying
I'm
to
going to
join the
bed.
we're trying to join the Discord. I'm just updating the link now for people that were trying to join, and I've messaged. So give me 30 seconds and that'll be sorted.
What the fuck? What is Discord? I think I ask this every time.
It's social media for folk that are too cool for social media.
That's what it is. What happened to Blue Sky? Did it die a death as soon as it was opened?
It's like Bebo. It's went the way of Bebo.
And Threads. Threads was a thing as well. Did somebody pull that? What happened?
No, it's still there.
Did
Bebo,
someone pull the
MySpace.
threads? Aye, good lad.
Fucking wank.
Just before you move off stouts, and I know we've not all had this, but I did pick it up when I was away somewhere. Trying to remember where. Kenmore. Wasted Degrees Numbers Station stout at 3.5 degrees is lovely. Just as a wee
3.5%
honourable, munching, 3.5% volume. It's excellent. It's really, really good stuff.
Oh, and
For being quite light on the alcohol, like it's not particularly heavy, but it does pack a punch in terms of flavour and stuff. Really well balanced. Lovely stout.
for avid listeners of the podcast, and Tori will be aware of this as well, you'll know that we were at the British Beer Guild Awards and we were nominated. We didn't win. Just an FYI.
Congratulations to
No,
all those that did.
Next year.
No.
Congratulations to the winners, the silver medalists. And
They also
thanks
ran
to everybody
like
who we
this.
spoke to for putting up with us. Well, Mark spoke to for putting up with him.
True. It was good fun, in fairness. It was actually really good fun.
It was excellent and amazing.
I feel like we went pretty hardcore in the old dress code. I think as much as we slagged Mark initially before we got there, I think he kind of hit the nail on the head.
Some of us dressed to impress, I think, is the answer.
I was dressed to impress too. Just I need my trainers, mate. Simple as.
Aye. He was trying. Mark was
Simple as.
poised to either sell something or run away really fast.
Mate,
Or
I was
play a
ready
game
for
of
it all.
tennis.
I was ready for it all, exactly. So
Selling at 5 o'clock, a game of tennis at 6. Who won that one, by the way?
camper van extra black.
Camper van extra black. One ding ding ding.
Ding ding
Have
ding.
you even not got any wee ding
Congratulations.
ding ding sound effects or anything like that?
Because
Like, what is this?
it's just my laptop is literally going to explode. We being on YouTube Live, Facebook Live, Instagram Live. It's my screen has flashed and flickered about 3 times, and I'm fear to touch any. Right,
Okay, guys.
best so I'm not touching it. Best IPA. This is a long list of nominations, but we'll fly through it as quickly as we can. Nominations are Triple Point Brewing, Desire, New England 7%, Wylam, Exploring the Deep, Stannery, Lupo Juice, Stuart Brewing, Under and Over, Fierce and Heist, Double Dry Hop Phantasm, Lost, Strictly, Simcoe, Stannery, Winnemucca, Verdun, I played the trumpet on that tune. St. Ives, Black and Motueka, NZ Black IPA, that's Callum doing that. Pipeline, Supernova, Burnt Mill, Circle of the Onyx, and Powder Monkey, Drop Anchor, Vienna Pale Ale. That is a fucking list of some outstanding beers, if I do say so. And we're going to pick one of those to win. That is pretty fucking hard. Why did we put so many?
Ask me, and I'll tell you why it's Sierra Nevada.
Sadly, Sierra Nevada now falls under Supermarché.
It's in the pale. It's in the pale category. Supermarché.
Because you can get it in supermarkets now. So that's winning that. Let's go around the circle then. Gilroy, you go first, seeing as you're that way in the circle for me. If you can even remember the list.
What will I go for?
One of them, preferably.
The first one.
Triple Point Brewing.
Tony's telling us we need to kick the black IPA off here because it's not going to fit the list.
Fucking absolutely right. And for that reason,
Correct.
I'll vote the black IPA. There we go.
It's a bit,
I'll get it a
it's a bit
single
racist.
vote.
The two, in fact, 3 that
Your
stand out
patter's
for me.
fucking humming, by the way. That is that is awful.
The 3 that stand out for me is Stanley's Lupo Juice and their Winnie Mucker and the Powder Monkey Drop Anchor. They're ones that
Is that more a pale ale though? The Vienna Pale is
It
more.
should probably be
It's
the
a bit
pale ale.
lighter.
Move that,
I
move that, Gav. Move it.
That gets moved. Right, that's been moved.
There we go. Traded.
Trade.
The Lupo Juice is definitely a very very good beer. The Wylam Exploring the Deep was ace. I want to give
Yes.
the Triple Point Brewing's Desire, the Nipa. Like for me,
That was good.
it's probably where my vote's going to go, and the reason for it is I have slagged New England IPAs off all year. I honestly, I would have written.
Was that one the black can and the blue writing?
I can't. They were all funky labelled, weren't they? But for me, it was the first. I'm not saying it's my first NEPA all year, but it was one, and I just thought to myself, there's a reason why they're actually still being made, as much as they've actually, like, they're all the same. But for me, this one was just quite spectacular. So I'll start the voting off quite quick, and I'll give my vote to Triple Points Desire.
Free from.
Desire.
Good tune.
I don't disagree with what you said there at all. That's the thing. See, I can't.
I know
The
what
burnt
I'm
mill, I
talking about.
can't comment. The pipeline was good, but I can't remember it. Verdant was good, but I can't remember it. I'm going with
I remember the
Lupo
Wylam one being particularly good.
Wylam was good.
Not
that
just
was-
because I overordered, but it was excellent. It was really, really good.
I never had that beer. So out the ones I've had, it's either Under and Over was good though. You know what? Nah, Stanley Lupo Juice is where my vote is. I've kept a can for a reason.
Mm.
An empty
Okay.
can, mind, not a full can because
So
I wouldn't drink it by now.
We've got Lupo Juice, Triple Point.
The QWERTY Beer
So what-
Box is saying on here, don't cast this as a vote, because I haven't tried a few of them, but the black and Motueka was a beauty. But we've just kiboshed the black IPA out of sheer joke purposes. But we appreciate that it's a there's a reason why it's on the list, because it's a really good beer. But
Well, I did.
Funny,
That's very true.
I did suggest to Gavin earlier on that the IPA category was stacked, and we should probably give black IPAs their own category because
We try them all. We got a rod to try them all.
nah. The,
I would do.
It's
it's
staying
an,
there.
it's an IPA. It's in there. Like,
It's the same.
I'm all for the white stout being
love
in.
the
I'm
white
all for the
stout,
black
exactly.
IPA being in. I'm all about it's all.
What's your thoughts
everything-
on sours?
Oh, well, that category should be kiboshed.
See, there we go. We've found the spot.
Right.
Right, James is saying Stanley Lupo Juice as well. So James is in with Lupo
Okay.
Juice.
So keep the
Nah.
Lupo Juice then. And-
No,
and
there's
let's
no way
keep
we can
on-
have James getting 2 rights in to start this off. Sheer like spite.
Oh, okay.
Nah, I'm joking.
Venom.
I'm joking.
Where you
Venom?
going, Cal? What's your thoughts, Cal?
it's difficult because of that list, the ones that you are all talking about, I've not tried, which is
Oh,
annoying.
you tried Lupo Juice.
I have Lupo Juice. I've tried, but it's not the best beer that I've had this year. It's not the best IPA that I've had this year.
Well, give us your vote for the best IPA.
Well, the best IPA and probably the best beer that I've had this year is Strictly Simcoe by Lost, down in Newquay, Cornwall. That's my
Is that
vote.
on the list?
It was simply stunning, absolutely superb. Just the flavour that they could get out of that beer for it only having one hop. It's just
So you picked a beer that's not on that list, then, aye?
phenomenal. What? Lost
No,
Strictly Simcoe.
Strictly Simcoe.
Oh, it is
Aye.
it? My bad. I'm looking at the wrong one. Sorry. My bad.
Honestly,
Right, Gilroy, have you put your vote in?
I went with Wylam just to fuck you all up. To make it
Nice.
1-1-1 and 1 again.
Right, so then let's narrow it down to the 4 then, because
What?
I can
Okay.
agree. I can agree with the Triple Point one. I can't
Yes.
say
So
on
the
the Wylam because I've
Triple
not had
Point
it, and I can't say
Lost.
on the Lost because I thought I didn't get it when I had the chance.
Got it wrong.
So
Mm-hmm.
we can.
If
in fact,
someone-
we'll just, you know what, we'll just pick all 4. All 4 of them are IPs here. Fuck it.
No, no,
No,
effing
no.
way. No, we're
No,
not.
no
No
mess.
participation trophies here.
Go with,
I think we should give
um,
it to. I think we should give it to the Black and Motueka New Zealand Black IPA from St Ives, because that was a fucking unbelievable beer.
Because nobody voted for it.
It was absolutely superb.
That was good.
Your man on Discord voted for it, so
Are we? Oh, are we getting votes coming everywhere? Fuck.
or wherever it was that he said.
This is
Don't
what
take
happens
this-
when you go
don't
cross
take this as a vote.
Don't take this as a vote.
But we will
Very
anyway.
much cross platform. I'll make mine for Triple Point.
There we
'Cause
go.
I
then.
can agree with that.
Right,
Winner,
okay.
winner. Triple
Triple
point dinner.
Triple Point
Congratulations.
dinner. Right, let's do Westies, and then
Ooh, this is a toughie.
go and then get. And you've not got the list. Mark's got the list. He's captain West Coast. Talk us through it, mate.
So we have
Billy Bitter. Here we go.
yeah, we've got 100% pine cones from everybody. No, I'm joking. We've got
My heat
Barney's
tree.
Caldera. We've got Three Hills, Coordinations, Powder Monkey. Why have this sing it? Powder Monkey and Wolf and Sheep's Clothing. Take 5. We have Tartarus with Demeter 7.2, and then we've got another St Ives Brewery who have cropped up again today with La Limonada. Nice. I can't touch on that one.
That already sounds like no West End.
I know the Mexican West Coast IPA. You know what I mean?
Mexico. The West
It was
Coast of
actually-
Mexico IPA.
It was actually an espresso West Coast IPA.
No,
So it was like a West Coast IPA mixed with a white stout.
I
Just
can't
fuck
wait to get.
everybody up.
I can't
Like
wait to get
caffeinated
Tori's
lager.
comments on this one. Like she's just going to kibosh that right away. No way. No chance.
That is the bastard child of beers right there. That
It was
doesn't
fucking good, but
Oh,
Right,
but-
Cal,
but
where's your
sound good,
vote
man.
then?
my vote can only go to the Tartarus Demeter, 7.2%. It was phenomenal. That beer, and that whole box for Tartarus was incredible. But that beer, by sheer fortuity, I left that beer to the last, and it was just sublime.
We'll
I'll
leave,
back up Demeter.
Ooh.
Roger.
There you go.
Yeah,
That's
why
an
not?
easy one.
We'll
Demeter
leave-
was easy.
we'll
It was
leave-
excellent. Really, really bitter. Caldera was also a munchnable for me. was excellent.
My vote goes to the Three Hills and Coordinates, one of the best West Coasts I've tried all year. Absolutely phenomenal. And incidentally, I know my local bottle shop still has some cans, so I will be buying 4, and I will be bringing them up to you boys next week because I fucking thought it was amazing. Oh,
Right, the
but
fridges are in next
like
week.
the Powder Monkey Wolf, like Take 5 was really good as well. Like really good.
Yes. Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember that being particularly good. It had the colour. I was looking at pictures, obviously trying to make some sort of contribution to this list, and I saw pictures of it in the glass, and it just looked absolutely stunning. As
That's
did
good, man.
Demeter, but it had the colour and on point. But like I said, another West Coast IPA that was brewed. I can't believe
Yes.
didn't make it into the list.
Well, that was a wee bit. It's unfair to put it in the list, wasn't it?
Felt a bit
It was
narcissistic
fucking-
to put all the C's in the list, to be
was
honest.
How,
it was just
since
mad.
when? Like it's literally never stopped us any other time.
That's very true.
It wasn't better enough to make the list, boys. Let's be honest.
Oh come on!
Wasn't it?
Well, a late addition to the list here. It's a toilet duck, pine
did you
fresh
get?
flavour.
How did you
And,
know?
right, so here we go. So Tory's in again in the comments, feeling that that this is the conversation we had at the very start before even recording, and we went back and forward on this. So she says, I do feel Elusive have been robbed of the West Coast title. You're not wrong, and the reason why they're not in, and it's the same reason why beers like Putty and Alligator Tugboat, those types of beers are not in any of the lists. It's because they're all rebrews and they're beers that we've all had before. Yes, like they'll tinker with the recipe and stuff, but we want these to be new beers.
We should have a rebrew category. They're not new.
We should-
You
in
can't
fact,
just
you know
pick
what?
new
Oh,
beers all the
fuck,
time.
we
We
should.
should have a
We could have
rebrew
an-
category or a kind of annual brew category for
Annual
next time.
release.
That's my thing. Because as much as that opinion seems to be the opinion of the Beer Fridge podcast, it's not the opinion of me. I would obviously have had your alligators, your trails in this particular category because they would win every year, but there's a reason they would win every year
Yes.
because they're pretty good. But in terms of new ones on the scene, I would say the representation we've picked isn't a bad offering
On the
at all.
scene.
In terms of fresh new kids on the block,
Check you
Shows
out on
my
the
age.
scene.
big time.
You've got to admit, though, Elusive are probably the West Coast Kings in the UK.
Oh, 100%.
Oh,
Absolutely, yeah.
The West Coast Kings. And
Easy peasy.
if they just release it and just say we've added like something slightly different or whatever.
20
Actually,
additional IBU. We've added 20 additional IBUs just for you.
let me just add it. To be honest with you, let's just get it in there next year. Like you say, fuck it. Best beers win.
I know,
If somebody can't beat the best, then fuck them.
I quite like the rebrew
Yeah.
category. It makes sense.
I like
I think
it.
But we're not doing it
yeah,
this year.
best of the rebrews in each category.
Yeah.
Your annual.
My
Yeah.
on the
Quick
West
ride.
Coast, my
Yeah.
my vote was going to Barney's and Caldera. To be fair, and I know it's not making any odds, but I feel like they, like Barney and Ali and the gang made an absolute banger of a beer. I think they've made a couple of really good beers this year in terms of and into the 440s, opened up. Their brewery in terms of new styles and new beers and stuff. And that was for me the best beer this year. So
Really back new places and stuff as well. Obviously back in the place where they live in Summer Hall and having Gravity there for the second year as well. And then most recently at the pit that's just reopened in Granton, which I don't think I would ever. I would never have picked Granton as a particular hotspot, but I'm sure that I'll get a hell of a lot of foot traffic from having the pit there. It's good to see it back open and Barney's finding a space there as well. It's awesome. Incredible.
Good stuff. Good.
Caldera was good.
stuff. Right. What we're going to do is I want some more people in Instagram stream, etc. So for the people that are watching, whether it be Instagram, Facebook, do us a favor, hit the like button, hit the share button as well, if you can do. And then once I'm acceptable with the numbers, we'll do the Brewery of the Year. While we wait for that, and we once again appreciate your support, everyone that's watching. While we wait for that, let's do sours. Mark's favourite category.
What did Mark put
And
in
beer.
this category? What did he offer?
Absolutely fuck all.
I pointless category.
Which is
There's some
absolutely
phenomenal
fair.
beers in this category.
Can I
Callum,
make an addition because there'll be one that's not made it in that I'm
go on then,
annoyed
try me.
about if it doesn't.
Try me.
Callum got it in. The dill
Go on then.
pickle. So
Aye,
there.
I put it in your
From
I put it
Barney's.
in your bell.
excellent work. Having
Aye,
never
thank
tried it, you put it in.
Having never tried it because I knew you liked it, and you
incredible.
bigged it up, and you
Yeah,
bought it for
I've
your
got
missus.
so much so I think I've got 8 cans.
Exactly. I know what I'm doing.
I'm going to strain my neck in this category, I think, because there's no way
Just try it. You can just
Right,
have
okay,
this
so
one off. You can go
run
get
us through
yourself a
it,
beer
Cal.
or a bite to eat.
Aye. I will go through the nominations. There are 7 in this category, Mark.
Have you had 7
have-
sours?
Vault City Fiery Ginger Iron Brew.
no.
Now we've got a kind of double header here. We've got Brewtoon and Stewart Lilt Shake, and Stewart and Brewtoon Sour Lassie, which is the tremendous combination beers that we tried earlier in the year. Then we've got Vault City and Overtones Overnight Oats. We have Barney's Pickle, which is the cucumber and dill sour that Scott mentioned.
It's not actually Barney's pickle, it's still a beer.
That's fine. And then we have a really interesting one that we tried in at the Big Swallow in Edinburgh. It's Elma Livin from Sweden, and their Pioneers and Explorers Pulp, which was let me just get that up. It was Nordic berries and Norwegian wildflower honey pulp sour. I know that a couple of the folk that we were sitting with were really excited about this beer, and it was absolutely phenomenal. It was one of those ones that kind of blurs the lines between.
Aye, was
is
that
this a
yogurt?
beer or- Aye, that's right. And the last one was one that we tried at the Big Swally in Dunfermline earlier in the year, and that was by Brewtoon, and it was Mega Sour Plumes.
Yes. Make sure plums.
Right, go on then. There's no point asking MD. So your vote is null and void unless you want to just shoot in the dark. And no, in saying that, you had the Lilt Shake in that.
You had the
No,
Lilt Shake and the Mango Lassie.
I didn't. I did not have either of those beers.
You missed that episode.
Oh, you missed that episode, didn't you?
You missed that one, didn't you? Go on then, Gilroy. Kick us off.
Office. I think that based on, and it's not my vote, it would be based on purely on sours consumed in this house. It would need to be the Lilt Shake, I think. As much as Barney's gets a good shout, It was one of my favourites, and I love the idea behind it. I think that's also how all sour ideas should be formulated, which is a fucking a novel idea that becomes reality and then gets canned as well. That would be good. But in terms of cans drunk and non-beer drinkers converted, it would need to be Lilt Shake or the Lassie, and I'll go with Lilt Shake because it was my favourite of the two.
I am gonna go. So it's either for me, it's either between the Fiery Ginger Iron Brew or the Lilt Shake. Because out of them all, I've only had 3 of them. The beers that are nominated. So, just because of the nostalgia straight away, that as soon as you drank this beer, that it took you back, and you're like, wow, that just tastes exactly like the fizzy pop. I need to agree with Gilroy. Lilt Shake for me gets my vote as well. Muir.
You're muted. Muted yourself.
Sorry, there's noisy kids in the background. I'm just trying to Google something at the minute. Because
James has piped in the comments, and he's agreeing with your Swedish one that he's had at the Big Swally.
Right.
Also,
So,
Ben,
I'm just going into the. I'm on the Stewart website at the moment, right? Because I had a thought, right? The one that was brewed at Brewtown, which was the Sour Lassie, was a sour, but pineapple and grapefruit Lilt Shake is classed on the Stewart website as a tropical pale, so it's not a sour beer, so it shouldn't be in this category. So I think that makes that null and void.
Where was that 3 years ago?
Retract. Well, fuck. There's my
You can't
vote
make
goes
these changes. You can't make these changes on the hoof live.
to Fire
Oh,
Ginger.
it's just been done.
You're
Fire
just going to
Ginger,
have to
Fire
live
Ginger.
by the sword and die by it.
It's no. I'm going to die on this hill.
That's actually
Well,
a
then
fair point.
what I'm going to do is rescind my vote.
Are you going to Sour Lassie then?
No, I'm not voting. I'm abstaining.
He's not voting.
Abstaining
He's
because of
abstaining.
the.
Yes. Fucking yes.
I'm going to
Miguel-
take
Miguel-
my sour vote as
Miguel the Tory is voting politically.
certainly
by no
not
voting.
just abstaining because of somebody's messed with the democratic process.
Fiery Ginger. Well, if it's either Fiery Ginger or Lilt Shake, I don't. Well,
Nah, give me the other one. I'll take the sour
Sour
Lassie.
Lassie. Yeah, I'm Fiery Ginger then. Go then, Cal.
I'm going to have to go for pickle. Because
You're
it was-
awful.
No, it was everything that a sour should be, as you say, right from the inception of the idea to the creation of the beer, and it's wacky, different, and something that I didn't expect to like. It was just unbelievable. Yep, that's my vote.
I was just waving. Tori's saying she's having to leave, so I was just waving. Sorry.
Bye, Tori.
Bye.
Does that mean I'm the deciding vote?
Kind of.
Fucking yes! I can't
You're
believe I've got all this
you're a big
power
pickle
on it.
guy.
Actually,
You're a pickle guy.
I do like a pickle, but I've never tried the beer.
Well, I've got one here for you.
Oh, I'll do a trade for you. With you. Actually, I honestly I can't in all hand on heart I can't honestly make a pick on beers that I haven't tried. I haven't tried any of them. To be fair, the only one
if
I might have got.
You tried the sour pulp.
I might have got the
one.
pulp. Okay, I might have had a mouthful of it, and it tasted like Ribena. You know,
I mean,
for me,
if we need to pick one, I can and will change my vote to Sour Lassie because I've had that and it was good.
well,
There you go.
Well,
the pulp
on.
for me, I can't. I'm not. I couldn't vote that as a sour because I don't think it's a sour beer. So, and I've not tried any of the other ones. So if we need to go with.
it was an excellent liquid dessert, for what I remember.
Aye.
But a beer it was not.
Get it picked then. Get it picked.
Lassie.
Cool.
Lassie
Sour
it is.
Lassie. Sour Lassie.
Lassie
It is.
wins. Only because
Lassie
the other
wins.
one didn't make it in.
Lassie come home.
Maybe-
Indeed.
Because of the stickler.
I'm going to just make a bit of a statement here, and that's a category that either needs to be kiboshed or or you three need to put some serious effort in next year. Because, like, let's be honest, that's
Because
That is a
put some
pretty,
serious
that is a
effort
pretty
in.
poor show.
How many of you?
But, I mean, we
I feel
could,
like
I
it's a
mean,
poor-
Callum
I
and
feel
I
like it's a-
did.
No, to be
Callum
fair,
and I did
looking
best,
down.
our very best to get through a whole. We tried to get through a brewery's entire offering or a blendery's entire offering, but I don't know. I don't even want to chuck Max Ferm in there
No,
amongst Kettle
but
Sours
if you
because
look
it's
at
not
if you
even
look
a,
at the
it's not
list,
even a-
That's a good
if you
list.
look at the list that's there, you've got Sour Lassie, Overnight Oats, Cucumber and Dill Pickle, and the Explorer Pulp and Mega Sour Plumes. Scott and I have both tried all of those beers.
Aye,
this
but
year.
that is it. That is all we've tried.
Ah, but it doesn't
So
matter.
no, it does matter because by virtue of the fact, like we never only tried 7 stouts. That's a lie. We never
I would-
only tried 7 IPAs. That's been the majority of our year. And wait till we get to the lager category because I didn't understand how that's no 25 beers deep.
Mate,
Well, it should
And
be.
the,
It
and
should
where's
be.
the where's
And
the do we have a Hefeweizen category?
nah, but
No,
we've
we don't.
no hef and wheat. No, this year.
Because we've
consider-
hefted the Weizens to a considerable extent.
Oh, mate, it's the
Last
only thing
12
I've drank all
months.
year.
I'm going to go and recharge my glass because what I've poured here is absolute fucking gut rot.
Right, should have
Okay,
been.
thank you.
I'm not going to shout it out on the podcast at this stage, but I'll be back in a second.
Chop.
Why?
There he goes.
We'll let him recharge his glass. While he's done that, are you boys recharged already?
I've just finished that stout, so I'm about to try and fix it.
Let's go around the table.
There's Big Harvey Spectra once more time. Spectra. Anyway,
I'll jump in on this. Gav.
Hanbrew Cole. Mono. What?
No, on you go, mate.
You
Sorry.
go, mono. Is that no an affliction?
Thank you. Mono
Mono.
West Coast IPA 6%.
Is
Right.
mono no a thing
What
in
you keep
America?
doing.
Is that no a
Um,
kind of American illness?
Probably. Chinook, Centennial, and Columbus, all the seas, literally.
Ooh.
And this is not West Coast enough. It's
Ah.
west. It gets you over the line, just. But it just needs a bit more oomph. The color is there, what you'd maybe expect it to look like. So the color is definitely there. I just want a wee bit more fucking, bit more pininess, a bit more green tree. But it's 6. Would I say 6.5? Aye, 6. It's enjoyable. It's enjoyable. I'm not going to kibosh it that much. I would have it again, especially if it was on tap as well. Gilroy, you're just finishing up yours, and MD, what are you having?
I'm on Ducks IPA. So I maybe not. Noise. I got this
Strong beer.
strong beer, 6.3%. Again, this is a Toronto brewery, Burdock. A juicy citrus IPA. Honestly, it's really tasty. It hides 6.5% very well. Put it that way. It's got all the kind of proper pale vibes. It's a really, I'm going to call it like a really typical American IPA. It's got all the it's sweeter
Right.
than than the IPAs that we brew over here, but it still has that kind of like, I don't want to
It's
say
got
it's
a
like a
fire
molassesy
retardant.
sort of like kind of like hard boiled sweetie. Whoa.
Why are you stuck with the fire retardant thing on your fucking chair? Take
Got to stay
that
safe, Gav.
That's just in case he catches flames with all his like hot takes. That's what it is.
off.
You can't sell it if you didn't have the hang on it.
No, that's true.
Fucking can take a lad out of Scotland, fuck me. But
Love it.
aye, good beer, simple,
Oh.
simple and effective. So
Nice. Cal, what have you recharged a glass? It looks awfully dark.
I have recharged my glass with my second last can, boohoo, of Panfield Export.
no, good beer. Good beer.
Excellent stuff.
Good
Enough,
beer.
enough said of that. It's
That's the one. That's the one that I poured down the sink.
Oh, that's
Where
like
is
a
it?
cold town. Ooh. Oh, Bavaria one.
A Bavarian Pilsner.
Was it just
No,
off?
Pilsner doesn't come from Bavaria. We'll start there, and then we'll go on with
Yeah.
a classic Bavarian Pilsner.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Bavaria's
not a
where
thing, surely.
Munich is, isn't it?
Aye, but Pilsner comes from Pilsen in the Czech Republic.
Which is an export, but they only got it because the Germans brewed it. Did we not have this debate? Or you weren't there? Trying to say it effectively, if you're looking for beer, you just follow the Germans.
But Pilsner comes from Pilsen in the Czech Republic, and then that's yet another whole little
That's
bit
the
of dialect.
Czechia now, but that's fine.
There's a lot
dear.
of hills tonight, by the way. There's a lot of hills.
But anyway, that was. I don't know whether it was a bad can because we know Cold Town can brew good stuff, but that wasn't.
They can brew good stuff, but they also miss. So they obviously missed on that end. So dirty beat around it.
You can have a whiff,
It was dog shit.
No,
but it might also be a bad can.
it could have been, and
Maybe.
you know, there's a
Let's have
high
a second,
chance. But
let's have a second can.
correct.
You're on the duck, MD. What have you recharged, Gilroy? What have you disappeared and came back with?
I've decided to have. See that? You disagree with somebody twice, and then all of a sudden it's straight to venereal.
And this is why we don't go live.
Exactly. 100%. Goodness me.
2 minutes
Um,
past 9.
I'm
Anything
having-
fucking goes now.
That's true.
Past the watershed. So I'm having a spooky beer. This is Stuart's Blood Orange Hazy IPA in collaboration with the Edinburgh Dungeon.
Ah, that was a good
pretty
beer.
good.
I quite enjoyed that.
Quite sweet. Quite on the sweet side, I would say. Maybe needs a smidge more zest, but I think it'll go down well at the dungeons. Excellent.
Mark is
mean,
furiously shaking his head.
Depending on what you put it next to.
I think the first two mouthfuls of it are really tasty, and then after that, it dies all the death under the sun. Like a 440 can, it's ridiculous.
Maybe
A
that's
pint
the
of it's
plan
no
or the
chance.
death. Dungeon Doom.
I could have a pint of that. It tastes like orange juice.
No.
What a breakfast beer, by the way. It's already winning
It's
breakfast
like
beer.
it's like mimosa, I suppose, isn't it?
Mimosa
That's
IPA.
what it is.
Aye.
Aye.
All right.
Dump a wee
Depends-
prosecco
it
in there.
depends how-
to go.
It depends how sweet your tooth is, though. Really,
It
you
was
know, it's
really
one of-
good on cask, mate. Really good on cask.
But
Beer is better
I
on
can
cast.
imagine.
But a pint of it in cask was still impossible. Put it that way. Like
That may be a tough.
I'm sure he managed that.
well, you know, research and development and all that kind of stuff, of course.
R&D. Okay.
Exactly.
Impossible.
Right then,
Impossible is nothing.
let's do it. Right then,
I
as you
can't
all
believe we never
know,
got a sponsor for this, mate.
well, if more than one person was doing it, then maybe.
Need to speak to the advertising and
We went-
marketing department. It's an absolute bloody disgrace.
We started off with 62 brew 64.
64.
I thought it was 64.
It was 64. I said 2 and I knew it was wrong. We started with 64 breweries about 7 or 8 weeks ago, and you guys have voted on Instagram. We did our usual after round 2, our wee kind of shuffled it all up, and we got to the stage of the Battle of Edinburgh, which I won't lie, wasn't on my bingo card at the very, very start.
No,
Definitely
Traditionally,
not. That two didn't come up against one another earlier, right? Were they always on other sides of the bracket, or was that the
Yes.
one with the early doors jibes? Who was that Scottish
Pilot.
clash?
It was Campbell.
Pilot,
It was,
that was
it
it.
was
I
Stuart
should have
and
known.
Pilot.
Should have known as soon as I said jibes that it was definitely Pilot that were involved.
in
somewhere, but-
fairness, Stuart, I've went through. Basically went through pretty much every brewery in the Edinburgh area. Anyway, I'm sure they had Vault City at one point. They definitely had Pilot, and they had a couple. I think they had one other Scottish brewery as well. It was a running
Few
joke
home tap.
between the Lewis kept kept messaging, going another Scottish one. Like, yep, that's just the luck of
Basically,
it.
we're not sure how Stuart do on an away trip. They've not actually had to cross the border yet, have they? So, you know.
They did once, I think. The last round they did.
Yeah, semi-final. It was two Scotland
Oh,
versus
I'm
England
That was-
ties.
Unbarred, that's it.
It was Stuart v Umbard. I thought Umbard would make it to the final this year.
I thought your better half, Gavin, would have done the usual nudge to the old Umbard guys just to get themselves sorted.
Well,
Obviously,
in
lacking
fairness,
did spur them on to victory.
the Stuart Umbard matchup was very close, and voting was probably one of the highest ones, apart from the final. And because both breweries get behind it, and we've said it to every brewery who's a part of it. Look, if you get behind it and you share it and stuff, like that's where the votes come from, etc. And this is why Bayonet won last year. And Bayonet got beat by Umbard, actually, fun enough, in this whatever round it was.
That was a
never
rival
made to
from
this point.
the year Breve, right? They beat
Indeed.
was it Unbarred that they beat out for last year's title. So
Indeed. So Umbard have been bridesmaids twice. Campervan have made it through to the final this year. That's their first appearance in the final four and in the final, obviously. And for me, it's potentially more of a showcase of our listener base, potentially, or just fucking people loving these two breweries, which isn't part of the course. Or out with the question.
The votes are all done through Instagram. Like you say, we've got, when you look at the insights and stuff, like it's UK wide, and
Yeah.
we've done this for 3 years and we've never had a Scottish winner. So,
We've never had Scottish brews make it even semis,
not.
quarters.
this is the first year that, like you say, we've had, because we've discussed that plenty of times, thinking I can't believe so and so got beat off so and so. Do you know? Or it's just how it goes, and that's why it's why
shocking because so and so have come up with the best beers I think so far.
the so and so beer's unreal, mate.
So and so's West Coast IPA was phenomenal.
That
don't know, it's
Hefeweizen
not-
is on like that Hefeweizen was so good, mate. It's in every category this year.
Indeedy.
So a massive thank you to everyone on Instagram and everyone that's followed this process from start to finish, and everyone that voted in the final. Like I said, the final was between Campervan and Stuart Brewing, and I am happy to announce that we will be in person and delivering the trophy for the winner of the 2024 People's Choice Brewery of the Year Award to
No way.
Shocker.
Indeed.
No way. Unbelievable.
Shocker.
Has that got anything
so
to do with that fortuitous collaboration that came out earlier in the year, Gavin? Or are you going to
No.
defend the
No,
you're
this
going
is
to
the
defend the
thing.
validity and
I love the
These
fact
guys
that
said
you
this at the
just
start.
Fairy
and we're
tale
like,
story.
aye.
It's
Can
a
we
fairy
get-
tale story. It's
Gavin,
like
tell me
Wimbledon
you-
winning the FA Cup 1988. It's the little boys taking on the big boys and beating down the likes of Verdant and Track and Beak and all the other massive breweries that are in that list. Well done, Stuart.
The thing is,
can we
it's,
get the,
it's
can
hard.
we get the
It's hard to
collusion
even
meme?
like
No.
to even argue with it. To be fair, because they've been smashing it at the park. They've won another award, which is completely irrelevant. And they were Brewery of the Year in that as well. Because this is the one that really means everything to everybody.
It's the only
and so,
award that matters. It's the only award.
That's right.
hats off to the team at Stuart. It's smashing it at the park. I know everyone's going to say it's a fix because of the day we spent with them. We know it's going to happen, but this is you guys that voted
Yep,
on
we
Instagram
can
and stuff.
Go onto Instagram, get the data, and we can show that it's all
I can show you-
Kazakhstan accounts. That
Yeah,
we
you can-
for-
You can suck it,
Show you.
exactly.
Can you show you all the fake accounts that I made?
By the way, the Kazakhstanis are never at Holyrood.
Mm.
Holyrood
It's
daft.
nice.
Um, no, it's amazing. It's incredible that they've battled. They've had I think we've obviously spoken about their kind of home ties and stuff, but home ties are hard because it means you're going up against people who potentially like both and need to make a call about where they live
Yep.
closest to or whatever, and to come out on top of all of those is very difficult. It's a very difficult task to come out against
fact,
so many others.
It eliminates
Yeah.
it eliminates that patriotic edge that you might have going up against a brewery for South
Exactly.
Border
Yeah.
or Northern Ireland or whatever, because there will be folk out there that'll see a Scottish brewery against another brewery and think, all right, I'll back the Scottish brewery without
Yeah.
without really thinking too much about it. But like you say, if it's a Brewtown against a Stuart or a Stuart against a Vault City, then you've got another decision to make. It's a bit
There-
harder.
No, for me, there's two breweries this year that I have. I'm not saying written off because that's normal, but I have probably flip flop, typical Captain flip flop kind of style in that. One is Brewtown, who I think have started to make really good beer. Who 3 years ago, if you said to me, by the way, you really enjoyed a Brewtown beer, I would have been thinking there's no chance. And
Aye.
Stuart, for me, and I've said this all along, they have been brushed, from my point of view, by the supermarket, or they had been brushed by the supermarket kind of overhaul. As much as I knew the work that they were doing behind the scenes and other stuff, and for me, obviously, whether it's I've made more of an effort to try stuff that isn't supermarket based, or obviously we've spent a bit of time in there, and vice versa. Obviously, spent plenty of time in Edinburgh, so see their fucking signs everywhere. For me, honestly, and I've said this a couple of times. I'm really like they're a brewery that I really support now in terms of when I see their stuff, and I'm thinking because I know they make really good beer. And fair play, what you say, it's a really difficult process. 60-41, and it's a testament to Lewis and his Instagram skills, probably, in terms of how
Yeah.
many people he's sharing and how many accounts he's set up. And so I'm looking forward to hearing and seeing his messages tomorrow when they finally, because I don't know if he actually reads or listens to the podcasts. I think he just I know he does.
He
I'm
does.
joking.
No, he does. You know
no,
he does.
I'm joking. And I'm looking forward to us getting the bribe money, the messages off him afterwards. So
I'm waiting on him
we'll-
appearing
we'll-
on Cameo so I can get my my messages of his voiceovers, because the voiceover was incredible. I think that was the
Well,
if you go through his year of work, I think that should be the voiceover of his year of work on social media, which has been excellent. Everything from outfits to voiceovers has been superb.
we will.
So yeah, aye.
We'll see the guys next week where we can drop off the official trophy to the boys at Stuart. Hats off to you guys. You guys have been smashing at the park, and we look forward to seeing you next week to drop that trophy off to you. Before I go into our next category, we put a little question up on Instagram stories of people that follow the podcast and follow us on Instagram to give us their beer of the year. And we had umpteen responses. The wild and mad beers, but then at the same time beers that we can get on board with, and we agree with these. I'll run through them very, very quickly. We had Dennis with extra black. Dan came in with a Have I Got Brulou, excuse me, for you, which is Three Hills. A couple of more extra blacks from Linda and Jason. Sean came in with Guinness. Hogan was another extra black. Grumpy, Tanfield Export. James came in with a weird Wire to the Tune. What else have we got?
was
Mallard
good.
from Duration. We've got a Polly's shout out as well, no artwork, and Lowry with Barney's pickle beer as well. And also
Yay.
shout out to Sean as well on Untapped, who watches us on YouTube. So that is just a handful of some of the people that have gotten in touch with their beers of the year, which I don't think we can disagree with them because they're all pretty fucking good. Right, and next up, gents, I'll go to the top of our little... In fact, I'll just go to the right of our spreadsheet and we're going to go to Best Traditional Ale or Best Traditional Beer. We have a list and nominations that consist of Stuart's Nitro 80, Wasted Degrees, 80 shilling as well, Brewtown, Tanfield Scottish Export, Wasted Degrees, 1870 Red Ale, Campervan and Full Circle American Style Scottish Export, and Wasted Degrees Longship Saga. Mr. Muir, in fact, you're going to go last, actually. Scott.
What's this category?
Traditional beer.
Best traditional ale.
Traditional ale.
Take the word ale out because it's just.
It's going to be It's going to be. I'm assuming the exports in there that Callum's comfortably quaffing.
It is indeed.
One. Yes.
The brew.
It is.
The
Yes.
Bruton.
It's got to be. It's got to
I'm
be.
glad.
the
I'm
McCune's
glad you were
export
listening.
style. It's got to be the McCune's export style beer from Bruton. I think it's a lovely drop. I thought it had all the nostalgic hints while still having a bit of a more something for the modern beer enthusiast.
Mm.
I don't
I
disagree.
thought it had all the marks. I thought it had that kind of modern twist on it, but I also thought it ticked all the boxes from a nostalgia and would have the traditional ale drinker or export drinker enthusiastically applauding.
For me, I can't.
James is agreeing with you there.
I can't disagree with that. I'm looking through the list. I've tried most of them. Actually, I'm thinking other than the camper van one, I think I've tried the rest. And
Camper van one was
for
excellent.
me, the one thing I want to say is my vote's going to the Bruton beer because I think it's probably been the best all year that I've had. And I feel really bad because Wasted Degrees have got 3 beers in this category. And for me, 2 of them are incredible beers. Are absolutely incredible. And they have smashed it out the park again. I think we said that last year and we kind of mentioned that they were the brewery. They were definitely a brewery to watch from my point of view last year, and again with the new site coming, it's dare I say they're becoming unmissable just about. There was one miss, and I'm surprised it's on this with the long ship. I didn't rate the beer at all.
Am I going to have to get another hill out here?
Mate, honestly,
That was the beer. The Longship Saga is the beer without hops, right?
Aye,
Is that right?
and
That's the Bog Myrtle. That's the Bog Myrtle number.
aye.
Yeah.
For
You're
me,
wrong.
No, well, that's the whole point of the 4 of us. For me, that was like, anyway, it was pish, right? But
I think that beer tells the story. That beer tells the story of beer, and I think it tells you like the fact Mark didn't care for it necessarily. I think it's an excellent history lesson. I think it was well executed. I think it hit all the marks that it was supposed to hit, but it also is the absolute champion reason why beers are now still brewed with Bog Myrtle. If that makes sense.
No, but I really enjoyed it, and I thought to get the flavor was really complex. It was really aromatic. It was really floral, and it really appealed to me, both in a historical sense and to taste. I really enjoyed it, and to get that flavor punch that I got from that without any hops in it was I thought it was just unbelievable.
That is excellent.
And to be fair, putting it in this category is kind of it's a beer that doesn't really fit into any category really well. So I wanted to put it in there purely so that we spoke about it because, like you say, Mark, Wasted Degrees have really smashed it out the park this year, and it does sadden me a little bit that they're not getting my vote in this category, because they are probably my brewery of the year, just for sheer consistency, quality product, and it's just and I don't think they're becoming unmissable. They are unmissable. If you're coming north of the border, you must get or visit Wasted Degrees.
Well, it tells you, I mean, everything that every shop you go into, any shop in Perthshire that I've seen that does anywhere near non-supermarket beer, Wasted Degrees is in there, and it's the one I look for amongst in comparison to all the other ones. And I know there's other breweries in that area of the country that operate, but whenever I see the black or the white can, it's 100%. I'm going to pick it up regardless of what it is.
Regardless of what's inside it. Aye.
True that. Who's not voted yet?
Even 3.5% stouts, which, by the way, I would walk past every other day of the week. But it was Wasted Degrees, and I was like, well, if they're making it, then it must be good for 3.5%, which it was.
Go on then, Cal.
It's Brewtown. It's the Tanfield export. It's just unbelievable. Absolutely cracking,
very good.
cracking beer.
God, we're going to get
Still-
we're going to get unanimous here, are we?
Unanimous category here, are we? I don't know.
Well, it managed to dredge
Gav will go somewhere else just to be awkward.
within the
I
podcast.
felt like it.
within the podcast time that we were on talking with him when Callum tried it for the first time. William Wallet was breached.
Aye.
Well, like we heard the hinges.
Yeah, that's
And
true.
we do regularly order from
100%.
the breweries that we get on the podcast. You know, we don't live our lives getting free beer all the time.
Oh, Christ, no.
But Miguel's
Just most
absolutely
of
right. Any viewers watching on YouTube for that episode will have seen the cloudy moths flying up in my face when my
Nah.
wallet got opened, and before
it
that
was just
podcast
that-
was even finished, that was
You're-
ordered.
You're obviously quite considered, and you've made no secret of that. You're quite considered in your choices, and it was just good to see the buzz when you were like, "Nah, I need to go in and make an order right now." It was the Callum's or the beer fridge version of "Give me 14 of them right now,"
Aye.
when he tried that for the first time, which is incredible.
And I ordered 8.
Like the bit that's just like in my head is the Camper Van Full Circle American style Scottish export was
That
fantastic.
was cracking. That was a good beer.
Such a good beer. And that's the only bit that's toying with me. But the thing is, I don't disagree with anything that you guys have said with regards to the Brewtown Tannyfields export. It is fucking stupendous. And I would be picking Camper Van just to be different, but I think for this one, it's hands down probably the only one that's going to be a unanimous decision, and I will agree with you guys. It's Brewtown Tannyfield Scottish Export.
Winner.
So
Excellent.
right, best imperial beer. We have the nominations. We have Wylam Imperial Jakehead, Wasted Degrees once again, and their Ancient Amber, Track and Finback, Barrel Aged Ooze Vanilla, Brewtown, Wild to the Tune are your nominations. I will pipe in first, as I was the last time. This is easy for me because I have had one of these beers and it blew the tits off me, but it was also amazing. And even it's like the history behind the beer, and we found out about the beer and got the story of the beer. Wasted Degrees, Ancient Amber, for me is my vote. MD,
Nice.
Good to toss one in there.
I was quite the same in terms of when the four beers kind of popped up. For me, the best, I'm calling it chunky beer that I've had all year was Imperial Jakehead. I thought it was just everything that I wanted and needed at the time. And you know, it was funny. I was speaking about that the other week about like the whole, without it being too weird, but like that moment in time where whatever happens, it's just it hits all the buttons. And for me, that beer was exactly that. It was badass, and
Just
for
you and
me,
the beer.
it's me and the beer for sure. That's it.
See, to be honest,
I mean,
in fact, is that no come out this Friday?
yeah,
It's double.
timely. I was going to say it's timely. It's Imperial Jakehead, especially brewed for National Jakehead Day. Imperial Jakehead slithers back for more, bigger, and better than ever. Apparently,
So does that mean that wasn't it out this year?
no, it was. It's back.
That was
So
it counts. It counts.
Right. Okay.
I think they're just bringing it back sooner rather than later.
No. We restart our year ends now.
From the time we finished the last one, is that what we're saying?
Indeed, correct.
Okay, I can live with that.
That's why there's Christmas beers that are nominated.
National
Did that last
Jakehead
year.
share box. Win.
Take the money.
Yep, give me 14 of them right now.
I'm assuming your vote, Gilroy, is going Jakehead.
Oh yes, I mean anything Jakehead is my it's a core. It's one of the
We're going to have
it's one
two
of
today.
if not the best core UK beers. Jakehead. The Imperial version is astounding.
I can maybe feel a tie coming on, Callum.
First of all, I want to talk about the Track and Finback beer, which was
Track and Finback.
which was the 750ml bottles that the guys from Track brought up to Big Swally in Dunfermline, and we convinced them to open. And they were only pouring it in 50ml measures, because it was 14.5%. And that was just special. That beer was just unbelievable. But my vote's Wasted Degrees Ancient Amber.
I thought that was going to happen. I fucking knew it. There's no way we can split this, so it's just going to have to be 2, I'm afraid.
I think that's all right.
I think that's fine. I can deal with that.
So does that mean we've got a dark and a light?
A dark
that
and a
how we're-
light Imperial.
Aye, okay, we'll take that.
Bum, 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 bum,
I'll take that.
bum, bum,
On the gram of Insta, Grumpy has commented. So if you're listening to that episode, you'll know this story as well. But
Hi, Dad.
Grumpy has kindly explained it for us again. So the Tannerfield export from Brewtown was an idea from locals in the tap room. So they were asked they asked for a traditional export style of beer. 2 homebrewers collaborated, made it. Then the brewery got a hold of it and they made it. And they made a great effort of making it. And
That's
then,
an
yes,
excellent story.
It's a
But
story
most,
for
I mean,
ages, that one, like.
aye, because
Fucking awesome.
most people, if you'd expect, like, where would you get people that had wandered into a craft beer place saying, go make us an export? Like, They
Exactly.
wouldn't be in the pub in the first place to then suggest an export at most occasions. So that's quite cool in itself.
Correct.
And then for it to be made into a proper beer is excellent. And it obviously it blew our socks off. It's incredible.
Cracking beer. Right. While I should say, Mark Green's the winners. Callum is going to talk us through the nominations for the Dipper. If he's got the spreadsheet open, if not, I can do it.
It has.
Dippa, dippa,
So-
dippa, 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 dippa.
So the nominations are Move in Waves by Track, Triangles, which is a collaboration between Beak, Track, and Rivington, Voyage by Powder Monkey,
Oh,
Pays to be a Winner by Bayonet,
yay!
Whoop, whoop, whoop.
Strands by Beak, Hydra by Otherworld, and Travel Rugs by Verdant.
By the way, this is I could drink these beers every day of the week. Every single one of these beers is phenomenal.
If you still had one of them, you'd need to eat them now. But
Aye.
the Travel Rugs has got an Overtony slant on it as well, doesn't it?
Oh,
Yes,
in
it
fact,
is. Sorry,
Travel
it's
Rugs
Verdant
needs
and
to be.
Overtone. Sorry.
In fact, Travel
Just
Rugs needs to
thinking,
be deleted.
I expected. By the way, that's an absolute travesty that
Was that not? Is that last year?
Gavin
Was it?
did.
That
Gav
is
didn't
last
get to
year.
go with the Travel Rugs. No, I had the Travel Rugs this year.
No,
did I.
Or did I just
Ah,
keep
can-
some?
fuck it, I'll do it.
I looked through my pictures
Regardless,
and it was
I- no, I
definitely
had-
a,
I
it was
had 12
definitely
of
a
those.
February picture.
Mine was an
Alright,
April
okay,
picture.
I'll back it in. Fuck it.
So
We'll
unless,
send that.
unless Mark
Fine.
had it in his garage for 6-8 months, which isn't beyond the realms of possibility. But
Was it not? Was it? Not, it must have been a January thing then, because that's the only reason me and you would still have it.
Yeah,
True.
doesn't matter.
Because I got
I'll
it's,
whack it back
it's
in.
in there alongside Sidecar Exhibit. Is it Sidecar Exhibition? The Verdant beer, the
something.
yellow one.
The yellow one. That's it.
Yes.
And then putty. So we puttied. We travel
No,
rugged.
we did put. No, you know what, Scott? You're
It
spot
was
on.
all at the
You're
same
spot on.
time. Whilst we were dry
was-
Januarying. That's why it lasted as long.
You are absolutely correct. But this, by the way, this list is ridiculous. Like
Hashtag memory.
Otherworld Hydra.
What a beer.
That's
I
incredible.
never had
That's
that one.
Even Bayonet, Pays to be Winner. What a beer. That Voyage Powder Monkey. Oh my god, what a beer.
that was a good beer.
And then I don't think you guys had it, but the Triangles by the Beak, Track, and Rivington one.
What a collaboration that is, Beat Track and Rivington.
That's a Megazord, is it? No, that one. That's a.
Take my money.
Yeah.
This is hard.
Yeah,
James is just said there, pays to be a winner, but only when it's fresh. I actually agree with you there, James. Completely agree with you.
I had
When it
one
was- when
pretty
it was-
late
when it
doors
was
and it
super
was
fresh.
very good still.
Oh, no, fair play.
That might just
would
be the
probably
garage, the garage here being super cold, but it lasted. It lasted okay.
Right, let's make some choices here. Callum, what's your vote? Where's your vote going? Oh, this is hard, by the way.
I'm going to say Moving Waves by Track.
Oh, okay.
Could tell who's got a track box coming this year for Christmas.
Gilroy?
Merry Trackmas.
I've got two coming, by the way. I've ordered two.
So have I, but
Double
I've got. I'll speak to you about it later. I've got two breweries. I've rolled the Christmas dice, as it would appear. I've got two breweries I've never had before coming for Christmas, both which seem pretty pale heavy. So I've got loads of light beers for between Christmas dinners.
You're going to have a Christmas of tears, you.
Nah, not at all. I'm sure there'll be orders placed.
Where's your dipper vote going? Because we'll be here all fucking night at this rate. What we still got to take?
What's in the category again?
Dear God.
We've still got three categories.
Nah, I'll have. See, I don't know. No, come back to me because I'm still contemplating.
Right, go on there. Go
And
on then,
I don't want to give a one vote each per four. I would like to agree or disagree with somebody heavily.
I'm between two, and I think I know where I'm going.
Okay,
I'm-
go there then.
I'm the same. I'm going to give mine to Other Worlds Hydra because it's I just about flip flopped with my own vote there for half a second. The reason I'm going I'm going to double down. When I drank that beer, I wasn't expecting that much in the grand scheme, and I keep coming back to it stands out for me for that exact reason. I was like unbelievably blown away by how good the beer was, and I thought, and I know Otherworld make really good beers and all the rest of it, but for me it was like so. It just took the next level in terms of I had drank the Belgian style IPA before a pale ale, and then this thing just kind of blew me away. The reason I was hesitating on it slightly was the voyage from Powder Monkey. For me, had the exact same like feel. That's how good these beers are. It's like what do I remember, and where did I drink them, or whatever it is. That's the bit that are kind of I'm picking out. So Otherworld Hydra for me.
No, spot on. Fun enough, it's literally the same two beers for me as well. Voyage from Powder Monkey is ridiculous. It's such a good beer. But Otherworld is, for me, when I'm looking at these beers that we have on whatever category, it's what did these beers spring in my memory? And when I say Hydra, I go, what a beer straight away. Granted, the same with Voyage, but Christ, Otherworld are smashing it out the park. Granted, it might be because I've had it lately, biased in terms of that kind of standpoint. I've had a box of Otherworld, which was literally unbelievable. But I will second that and have another vote for Otherworld Hydra. Superb beer, ridiculous.
Ding ding ding.
Don't get me wrong, Travel Rogs was fucking unreal.
Oh,
as well.
There's no bad beer in that list. There's no bad
There's
beer.
not a single bad beer.
Oh, there's a ceremonial cock bottle opener making an appearance there. That's good. What are we opening?
Go then. Go back. What's your vote then, Gil?
Hydra.
Obviously no. There you go. 1-1.
Nah, Hydra was superb. It's got to be Hydra.
That was good. It was good.
Otherworld.
I want to also say, because they're not nominated in any. I know they are in the next one, but if you've never had Powder Monkey beers, go and get them. They're ridiculous.
Yes,
they're really, really
it's a
good.
very, very
really
close
good.
honourable mention. Powder Monkey, very good. Go get them. I just
Right
think
then,
Otherworld are otherworldly.
They indeed.
When
Best
they
pale.
hit, it's stonking.
Aye, they smash it out of the park. Best pale and nominations are Verdant, Light Bulb, brackets,
Light
Cask,
bulb. Yes.
specifically cask. Beak, Lola,
Double
and
double
again-
brackets specifically at the Verdant Tap Room.
That's
Very
quite
true.
niche.
That is very niche.
And that's inaccessible and rare, which is what we like for a pale.
I've got
When
a-
it comes to pales, they're normally super accessible and and not rare.
I've got a feeling it's going to do well in this category, to be perfectly
yeah, I
honest.
think so as well. Beak, Lola, cask.
Well, having
Pale
not
as
got
well.
it before, it might be close to mine.
Otherworld, Chris Hazy Pale, STF, NZ Pale, Powder Monkey, Drop Anchor, Vienna Pale Ale, which is what got traded from the IPA category. Yes, Callum is right. It's going to do tremendously well. Voting, light bulb. It's fucking ridiculous.
I take it, Callum, you've also voted for Lightbulb.
Yes, but I want to take a minute to talk about the pale ale, the Vienna pale ale from Powder
Oh, that's
Monkey,
Because I'm a hunky.
Let's get in my vote.
was-
So
which was special, like, and it was that style. Just it was a complete revelation to me.
Yeah, that's true.
It was something that I had never tried before, and yeah, so much so that we came off the podcast and I went onto the wee app that Mark and I use for homebrewing, and tried my best to create a recipe with which, granted, we've yet to try and brew, but yeah, it really struck a chord with me, that one. It was good.
So Mark's going Vienna Pale as well. Gilroy, you hold the deciding vote. And in fairness, I actually kind of disagree with the Powder Monkey one. It's yes, the light bulb is tremendously niche because you could only get it at Verdant. So my second vote would be the fucking Vienna. So
And I've never had it, and I think I'm going to go out on a limb and say I have to vote for it because I'm going to vote for it just because I think it's the best one. It keeps a certain type of serving or style of beer alive, and two, I think it's been the style through which I've enjoyed most pales that I've had this
Yeah.
year. I'll stick one in for Light Bulb, not necessarily for that beer in particular, but which might go against the grain a wee bit, but for wacky, well placed pale ales and on cask, that's where my vote goes. So I'll go Light Bulb.
Yeah,
But
I
super
mean,
honourable mention for the Vienna Pale, which is also an limb.
I'm quite sure if I was to get a can of Light Bulb that I would enjoy it immensely. Equally, if I was lucky enough to get it on keg, again, I'm quite sure I would enjoy it immensely. But that was just like the perfect storm. It was a bucket list brewery, on location, seeing one of my best mates that I didn't see often enough in the flesh, spending time with him and his family, and sitting having a few beers, and it was the first beer we had, and it was just one of those when you walk up to the bar and there was like 16 taps on the bar, and you look at the light bulb pale was halfway along. I started at the end closest to the door and walked up the taps and got to light bulb on cask, and I just stopped. I didn't even look to see what was coming next. I just said, right, stop, give me a pint of that, and it was just absolute perfection. And for all those reasons, that's why it's been my perfect pale of the year.
See that right there? That's a perfect kind of thing for anyone who listens to the podcast, who listens to this and goes, "Oh, I can't believe you've picked X, Y, and Z beers. Like you've missed these, you've missed that, and you've missed this out." Beer is also about the moment as well, as much as the liquid as well. Like who you're enjoying it with and where you are and stuff. That's a massive impact in the beer as well. That's not me being like soppy and all like smoothing and all that shit.
That's the whole reason. That's the whole reason that you are listening to us at the moment. If you've made it an hour and 29 minutes into
You're
the
turned
podcast,
off now.
this and if you've listened to us before, that's the only reason that you guys are listening to us right now, is because we used to spend a lot of time together, and as life happens, we've moved away, moved apart, and we still want to spend time with each other because we're mates and we love each other, and that's what it's all about. And yeah, as I say, it was just the perfect combination of all these factors together that made that the perfect pint.
Good stuff. Is that all four of us voted? Have I got
Indeed.
some-
Yeah.
Beautiful. Velvet
Oh,
light bulb.
oh.
What?
Sorry.
What?
Sorry,
just
I'm
got-
searching something. Give me 2
He
seconds.
just got cramp.
No.
He thought about playing basketball next week.
Ah. I was
Started
trying
to
to look
limp.
for when we had our last pale, and I don't know if it's a pale or an IPA. Callum, you might be able to remind me. Culture from Barney's on cask.
It was. Yeah, that was unbelievable.
That's
That
an
was at the-
honourable
at the-
muncheon
at
that
the
we forgot
Bullfinch.
about
There you go.
at the
Yeah.
Bullfinch in Leith when we
Again,
went
cask.
to pick up our gravity tickets.
Right, that's what we're going to do.
Sorry, I
is we'll
forgot
leave
to
the
put that in.
lagers-
It was I only remembered it as we were talking about cask, as I was talking about cask pails.
We'll leave the lagers till last because
No!
Mr. Mark
'Cause you'll be
Dixon
here for
has
an hour.
been destroying them all year. So we'll go to supermarket beers, which this year round is a wee bit more interesting, a wee bit more. I want to say old school, a wee bit more traditional than what it's maybe been in the past in the fridges before. And your nominations for best supermarket beer are Budvar Dark Lager, Franciscaner, Northern Monk Faith, Stone Brewing Stone IPA, Sierra Nevada, and Loch Lomond's Brave Hop Dark. 'Cause I'm not being funny, but some of those beers are like fucking OGs. And beers you're like, yep, I'll fucking pick them up in a heartbeat.
I think that
Like-
shows what we're picking up in the supermarket now, though, because if you look back if you look back into last year and all the rest of it, where am I? Supermarket, we had
Transient. I feel like
we
there's
had
one with Northern
Late
Monk.
Shift, Roll With It, Faith, the Rheinbacher Pills, Duval, Sierra Nevada, made that list. The year before, did we do as well? Because I remember thinking that, there you go, supermarket beers, Long White Cloud, Heathen, Ultra Phase, Lost and Grounded's Keller Pills, Vocation,
Good beer.
Sierra Nevada made that list again. But for me, when I seen the list, like I've said this quite a bit, like I don't tend to buy that much beer in the supermarket because I
don't
like you
have
say,
to.
from a craft point of view, I've never been a big like I say anyway. But the beers that are on this list are beers that I pick up in the supermarket, and there's a reason that I pick them up in the supermarket because they're OGs. They are, like I always say, like they're the reliable, really tasty beers, and I think this is the best list we have ever done on
Agreed.
supermarket beers. And if you like you say, if you listen this far and you disagree, then you need to try these beers because it's. I'm just going to, since I've waffled on, I'm going to give my vote to the Stone IPA this year
Ooh,
because
I didn't think you were going to go there.
the Franciscaner isn't the best wheat beer that's in the supermarket. So, but
What's the best beer in the supermarket? What's the best
best-
sweet beer in the supermarket?
Oh, mate.
Don't go
Okay.
there.
Mate.
You can't vote for the home team.
Don't you dare.
Nah.
And I
it's-
still think it's better than it.
Well, then Franciscaner.
No, I think Franciscaner's better than it.
All right. Nah, Franciscaner's good. Like, actually, in all honesty, for me, in terms of the body and that, I still think the Rheinbacher Weiss beer,
Beer's very,
is-
very good.
it's not as anyway. Well, no, that's not what we're talking about. But the for me, in terms of the price point and the body of it, the Stone IPA is uber West Coast, and it is going to totally blow your mind if you don't like if you've never tried a bitter beer before. That beer is going to like proper. It's going to hit every sense in your taste buds for you. So
What supermarket do you get?
Mainly
that
the
in,
ones that go for bitter.
It never lasts. It never lasts long in the supermarket. It's always there, and it's gone very, very, very quickly. I'm going to take the same kind of mantra there in terms of price point and stuff because I think that has to be a factor in terms of what we're picking here. And for me, I could easily go Sierra Nevada. We could easily go Stone IP because I fully agree. And even Faith, for that point, it's just such a solid beer, and you can always go back to it now and every time, and you know what you're getting. But for what you're saying there, Mark, for the price point, Budvar's Dark Lager gets the vote for me. Like, what is it, 179? It's just ridiculous. We were lucky enough to have Budvar on at the very, very start of the year. I was drinking Budvar before, but this year, after having them on and understanding the history, understanding the beer and what goes into the beer, I've drank so much of it this year. It's ridiculous. And the dark one in particular, because it's just such a good fucking beer. And Dark Lager is fantastic. So I'm going with Budvar. Muir.
Same.
It's Budvar Dark.
Same.
One
That was quick. Scott.
My vote always goes to.
That
I'm
was
going to
easy.
go wheat because it's the only category there's a wheat beer in. So I think I would be remiss if I didn't vote Franciscana, which means I've lost. But that's fine.
The thing is, it's not a bad beer.
I know what the best supermarket beer is, which is good for me.
That beer is unreal. I've got to admit, it's
I think
it's
the price point, but we have to take into factor. But I genuinely agree with you that what you said there, Mark. This is the best list we've had for supermarket beers because every single one of them could easily win it.
It shows you it's evidence of we never spoke to Johnny about it, but he spoke on when he was on the Moon Underwater about some people see kind of the craft beer journey as a circle. He mentioned it as being a spiral, which is you go way out wide with your choices, where you're like, I'll buy any supermarket pail that'll do. Whereas now you're saying, well, if I'm only going to buy 4 and I'm going into a supermarket, what can I then go with? What is it that's not going to be? I'm not at any risk of pouring down the sink at all. I'm going to enjoy every single one of them, and the consistency is going to be there to enjoy all 4 to the same extent. I think there's some of the beers that we had last year are in that category, and they're the beers that we put in. The problem is none of the ones that have come out, I wouldn't go back to that well necessarily.
No.
I think I would rather, if I'm going to have a pale ale, I'm going to have a pale ale from X craft brewery because I know it's going to be, that's where I'm going to go for something that's a bit not weird and wonderful, but it's got the depth of flavour that I'm looking for a pale ale. So vocation roll with it maybe isn't going to be my choice. What do I want? Well, I want a consistent high level, high grade pale ale, or I want a Westie that I know is going to be West. I can get that in Sierra Nevada, I can get it in Stone, I can get it in Franciscana, and so on and so forth.
Agreed.
And if I really want to be economical, I can pick anything for Budvar. And if the Dark Lager's on, it's the one that's weird and wonderful that people haven't seen before. That's probably a bit of a different experience for your taste buds. I would always buy if that's there in bottles. I buy 2. Like if I'm buying 4 or I'm buying 6, it's 2 of each or 3 of each.
In fairness to be like, if they're on the same, if it's the same price point, if everything's the same, then I would be going Sierra Nevada. But just for that once, like that, literally 179, that easy drinking, you pick up, you know you're getting a fantastic beer. The Budvar, I can't go past it. But again, you don't get
Budvar
Budvar.
Dark's excellent.
Oh, it's an amazing beer.
You didn't get the Budvar. You didn't get the dark one in Tesco. Or I didn't get it in here. So every time I go to Tesco, I pick up 4 cans of Sierra Nevada every single time, or a mix with the Northern Monk Faith. You know exactly what you're getting.
The dark one, we're spoiled of it, spoiled, but we've got one of the only places in, I suppose, central Scotland that's has the ability to pour Budvar tank fresh, which is as close to what you would get at the brewery there or in Czechia. As you're going to get. So the normal one, if you've got the choice, I would say go for that one. But the dark one, you hardly ever see anywhere. I mean, it was London. It was the only place 2 beer festivals. I think we managed to get Budvar Dark on draft, and we had it at both places. So if you've got to have Budvar in bottles, the dark version, if it's available to you, is the one to go for. I would say because it's just it's a different experience. It's as close to the New Barnes Dunkel as you'll get, which is an astounding dark lager.
True that. Right, 2 more left, and the last one I don't think we're going to agree on it, and it's going to be just left. And we're going to finish. We're going to finish. The one that we'll potentially get an agreement on is best lager Pilsner.
Was there a couple of
Mr.
home? Was there a
MD,
couple of
URB.
home options in
Well,
this category?
let's let Mark. Mark, you tell us. Is there you read us through the nominations for lager?
Mr. West, tell us how many
Oh God,
lagers
Mr.
you've got in this
West.
category, Mr. West.
Ding ding ding.
Okay. On this list, we have Budvar's Dark Lager. We
Oh.
have the Kernels Lager Beer. We have Forest Roads Lujo. And we have Wasted Degrees Apres Ski, or Sky, as I like to call it. We have New Barnes' Dunkel in there. We have a extremely good Kolsch from West in there too.
Who?
And then, to be honest with you, that's the ones that hit the list.
Are you doing a late door?
Well, the thing for me, when I was looking through this, the best beer I've had all year isn't on this list, and it's a lager. So, but the reason that I didn't mention it was because I've tried to keep, and I say this in the nicest possible way, but I've tried to keep the beers predominantly UK based, and breweries that were either supporting.
You're going to toss a wee hacker shore in there or something, mate?
But the best, honestly, the Tergensee Special Lager
Especial.
is unbelievable. It's unmissably good, and the fact that I can buy it in a wee market store that's just along the road there is unbelievable. So
It's pretty good.
that
If
one,
you can buy it, if you can buy it here in the UK, then yes, it can be in technically.
I know, but
But it's only going to get one vote.
There you go.
but the thing is, there's a reason why these breweries have been making beer this way for so long.
100%, and everybody's out there trying to make versions of it.
It's the best beer going. So I'm happy to stick with the list that we've got, because it's been curated by everybody and not just me who's drank lager all year. So for that exact reason, I'm going to pass the buck over and let somebody else make the choice
Can't you
first.
pass
So
the buck?
Mr. Muir, what's your lager / Pilsner of the year?
New Barnes Dunkel.
Ooh, nice.
Extraordinary beer.
Yeah, that's mine. Same. New Barnes Dunkel. Was strong as a beer. Very,
I
very
can't
strong.
speak to it because I never had it. So mine was going Wasted Degrees.
That's a problem we'll solve next week. That's fine.
The Wasted Degrees is an incredible beer.
Fixed.
On that list, the best beer I had lager wise was the Kernels Lager. I think it was incredible. So that's where my vote's going. But obviously, New Barnes Dunkel is our lager
Dunkel
of
takes
the
the
year.
winner
I just thought it was
for lager of the year.
it was released. It was released after the fact, so it wasn't released at the same time as all the other fest beers, if you like, and it was done with the typical New Barnes slant on it, with that kind of slight not slight variation on malts, but it was obviously, they know if there's one thing they know, it's malt bills, right? So it was done with that in mind. It had all their kind of heritage malts and stuff that they've got access to in there, and they did a bloody good representation of it. And it didn't have that festy gimmick which Cal mentioned with the everybody has their fest beer and misses quite a lot. This didn't. It wasn't a fest beer, but it was just after the fact. It was super duper.
That means we're down to one more nomination / category, which we are traditionally have never got right and never done it because we always disagree and we can never pick, so we just fucking leave it. And it is our beer of the year, which we're going to take from the winners of every category, which means your nominations are Campervan Extra Black, Triple Point Desire, Tartarus Dimitra, Stuart and
Demeter.
Bruton's Sour Lassie. Bruton Tanfield Export, Budvar Dark Lager, Waste Degrees Ancient Amber, Wylam Imperial Jakehead, Otherworld Hydra, New Barnes Dunkel, and Verdant Light Bulb cask. Can we pick out of all those beers one that stands out from the rest that is the beer of the year? I actually think we can maybe date this year. I'm not gonna lie.
I'll give you mine. Right off the bat, the
Oh,
export.
you're going. Oh, right, yeah. Okay.
Same
It's
for
the
me.
best story, best,
Bingo. Bingo.
coolest vibe. That's it.
I couldn't. As soon as you read all of them out, that was the first one that jumped to my mind as well. It was
Biggest flip flop on brewery.
Yep.
Best story.
Exactly. Aye,
Yep. It's
No,
been the biggest flip.
For me, it was the most flavoursome, boring beer that I've had. Do you know what I mean? But I say that in the nicest possible way.
No,
It
that's
was
right. That's right.
when it came out the box, I thought to myself, "Are you having a
Uh-oh.
laugh?" And we got the story. We tried the beer, and between Callum and I don't know. Did you buy? You said you bought 8. I think I bought 6. When I bought them too, and I've still got 2 left. Because they're sitting, like I say, because they're just. It's a phenomenal beer. So winner.
Callum's nodding away there at the same time as you guys were talking, and I'm on the same bandwagon, boys. This could be the 1 year we actually get it right.
Yeah.
Bruton Export, Tannerfield Export is our beer of the year, and it actually feels nice to be to all agree for one time.
It shows you though when a beer comes along like
Only when
that
happens.
it ticks all the boxes, but it's conversational. It was so simple. You know what I mean? And and the style of beer it's so simple, but with that makes it so difficult to execute the way that you would like it, and not just. And I'm saying this in a really nice way, but for it not to just like taste like either like tea or rusty old beer, basically. And
I had a strong chance just to be like shitty, like cold tea.
oh, it could have been really middle of the road, but it was just. Honestly, I'm really glad everybody's. Obviously, we were all in the same boat when we spoke to Joe on that, but it's an absolute winner.
And it shows, and like for people again who are early in their craft beer journey, or people that are even long into their craft beer journey, if you find a brewery and you initially it doesn't sit right with you, or like some of the beers don't come through, don't just write a brewery off. Just off a couple of beers, keep trying them. Because Bruton for us, like Mark said, they've been round a bit with us several times, and we've written them off. But this year they've absolutely smashed it at the park. So hats off to the boys up there, Joe and the team, who have been making some tremendous beers. And Tannerfield Export is our beer of the year. Well done.
Winner.
Super duper.
An absolute shocker.
excellent
I'll
beer.
tell you what, this is a long episode.
It always
They're
is.
These are always fucking long.
They are
always is.
always long.
It was longer the last time because we broke into the Magnums. That was
Well, it took longer because we were like, who we nominating? We were doing the nominations while we were fucking.
Did we
Oh,
not
I
try and
could
give
give
beer
up
of
in
the
the
year to one
Magnums.
that we had 10 minutes prior? Is that not what we...
Did we open that?
which,
We opened
which
that.
by the way, I'm happy to stand behind still.
Oh,
We
it's
opened
not
that
honey-
sinister
honey
brute,
beer.
didn't we? And
Aye,
it
the
was
honey
like
mead, the honey
Aye.
fucking mead shit.
Mead
We were like,
stuff,
oh, that's the
that
best.
was-
That's the best thing I've ever tasted.
Go for it now.
Oh, here. Blast from the past, boys. Mr. Scott Hanna's in the room on Instagram. Good evening, sir.
You're having
Hope
an
you're not
absolute laugh.
There he is. Never in the world.
Excellent work.
I am
mate.
not.
Excellent work.
He's
How are
maybe
you doing,
popped in
sir?
and went straight back out, and I've no caught that in time. But I hope you're all right, mate.
Aye, enjoy.
Excellent. Hope you're doing well.
Good to see you. You're
So,
still
mate,
fucking.
all the blast for the pasta. Aye, that's it.
And it just right. In that case, and well, on that note, I should say, because this could get very tremendously fucking messy very quickly. Thank you once again for everyone who's listened, who has watched the podcast over the last 12 months. Massive thank you. You've encouraged us so much that we this year put ourselves into the guild. We went forward to some awards. We got nominated. We're blown away. To all the breweries that have came on. Again, thank you so much for spending your time with us. We know we have something here, and we know that you guys enjoy it, and you enjoy the relaxed nature of the podcast and the not so serious aspect of the podcast, and us just fucking about and enjoying craft beer with you guys and our craft beer journey and sharing it with you. And I hope one bit of it just resonates with you, and you'll keep coming back for more. So for myself and the boys, I appreciate it, every single one of you guys. Make sure, as always, you like, follow, and share it with your friends. If you can do me one favour, just give us a 5-star rating. Go down below, 5-star rating. Give us a wee review. That would be massive help in terms of the algorithm and all that jazz. If you want to show your official support, you can go to patreon.com/beer fridge podcast. Get every single episode early. When we do some homebrew, you can get some homebrew as well. From myself, from the boys, until next time, we're not going away. We'll be here next week anyway. But cheerio, bye.
Toodaloo.